Welcome, Badass Manifester. I am so glad you are here. I'm your host and head coach, Ashley Gordon, master mindset and manifestation biz expert, founder of the quantum coaching certification, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur obsessed with empowering you to create quantum leaps in your energy, your life, and your business. This is the show to help you make magic your everyday normal, where the ripple effect is real and the guest experts are world class. My mission is to power your conscious and subconscious mind with manifestation teachings, business tools, and coaching techniques to put your potential into action. Consider this your weekly up level. Are you ready for quantum transformation? Let's do this. Hello. How are we feeling today? I am so excited to jam on this topic. Welcome everyone who's popping on in. I am live in the Facebook group, live for the podcast, and live on Instagram, just live in all the places. And if you're new here, hello, my name is Ashley Gordon, and I am super passionate about talking about the craft of coaching. I think business coaching has a beautiful place in the world. Learning how to market yourself is so important. And it's equally as important as learning how to facilitate transformation and how to guide people through the work, right? Through doing the deep inner work, doing the deep inner healing. And that is what I am really excited to jam about today. So if you have any questions along the way, drop them in the chat. I'm happy to help you. If you're new here again, hello, my name is Ashley, and I'm the founder of the Quantum Coaching Academy. We certify in 8 modalities, and we are a full-blown NLP certification. We have our own method, our own modalities that we teach exclusively and that are proprietary to QCA. And today, what I want to talk about is the difference between space holding and space molding, and really talking about where you might be coming from in your coaching. And so I'm curious, listening to this, just to assess, have you ever had that feeling in your coaching where you've questioned, throughout your session with a client, did I even make an impact, right? That thought process might come up, like, did I actually make a difference in this time that we've had together? Have you ever gotten off a session and totally doubted yourself and your abilities, and just really doubted whether or not, you said the right things, or you asked the right questions, or doubted even if your client actually had a shift, right? Or maybe you've doubted, did I even give enough in this coaching session? And if you've ever had those thoughts or feelings, let me know in the chat if you feel called. But I want to bring this up because I feel like it's very common to question, did I give enough? Did I say the right things? Did I make an impact? And what I've learned in my experience and working with so many coaches and so many different containers, that when we operate from that place of questioning ourselves, did I give enough? Did I say the right things? Did I make an impact? We're actually making it about us as opposed to making it about the client. Like, yes, it's about the client because we want them to have a shift, but more so it's about our own self-doubt. It's about our own belief systems coming up to work through. And so a lot of times when we come from this place of lack in our coaching, doubting whether or not we made an impact, doubting whether or not, the shift was good enough that they had, like maybe they didn't have some profound shift, and maybe they did. But I just want to say that, hi, Marissa. I just want to say that, when we come from the place of lack within our own coaching, it's something for us to take a look at. And a lot of times when we're coming from this place of lack, what we feel like we need to do is mold the space instead of hold the space. And so when I'm talking about molding the space, I mean feeling like you need to have your sessions planned out, or feeling like you have to kind of arrange the session in a way where you're like really truly guiding it versus the client guiding the session. And I say this a lot, but when you're working too hard as a coach, you're working too hard as a coach. Like that's it. Like if you're working too hard in your craft, you're going to feel exhausted when you get off of a session with a client. It's just going to feel that way because you're coming from that place of lack. Am I giving enough? I want to make sure they're getting what they paid for, right? I think that's a lot of us. I know I felt that way in the past, especially as I elevated my pricing. I'm like, okay, I want to make sure that my client is really getting what they paid for. And what that comes down to, and what I teach my coaches inside of Quantum Coaching Academy is like, we have to trust in the process of transformation with our clients. And it's going to look different for every client in every container. So like, for example, if you have a group, especially if you're hosting a group container and you are getting off and you're like, I hope that was good. I hope that landed, or I hope that coaching really, made an impact on that person. And then the doubt starts to creep in. You're going to want to get into inquiry around that, because when you're operating from a space of lack, when you're feeling like you're not doing enough in your sessions, you have to ask yourself a couple of things. One, is this really true that I'm not giving enough or I'm not doing enough? And if you really feel like it's true, that's an opportunity to look at how can I elevate in my craft, right? Because I think, like I had mentioned at the beginning, a lot of us are really passionate about marketing and putting ourselves out there and really like bringing in the clients. That's important. We need to know how to bring in the clients, but we also need to, equally as important, take them through a transformation without constantly doubting ourselves. Because, hey, isn't this what you're here for? Like you're a coach because you're meant to be a coach. Like you're meant to take someone through a transformation. You know that. And so sometimes investing in our craft is the next step in that elevation process to, number one, not feel like we have to mold the space, but really learning how to hold the space and hold the container in a way that allows the client and the group to get what they need, not what you think they need. So the biggest takeaway that I have for you today that will take you from feeling like you have to mold the space to really being able to hold the space is, anytime you get the urge to interject or to say too much or to start to steer the conversation in a different direction, I want you to disrupt that feeling by stopping. Just stop yourself in that moment and disrupt it. And I want you to say to yourself, pause, and actually take a pause and just listen to the client. Hold the space. Really hear what they're saying. Take a different approach than you normally take, and it might feel uncomfortable. But trust that there's not much that you have to actually do in order to make an impact. I once had a session with a client. It was a full day VIP breakthrough experience. And her biggest takeaway was that she just never had anyone listen to her before. She never had someone listen to her. So listening is one of the most powerful tools in space holding that we can ever use. It's so underrated because at the core of it all, there's nothing that we really need to do for our clients. There's nothing that we need to fix. They're not broken. There's no advice that we really need to give. We really, truly get to listen from a space of curiosity and from a space of love. And if you can listen from that space, you're going to be giving them the greatest gift that they may ever receive. And that is to feel held and seen and supported. Because at the end of the day, that is what creates the biggest shift. Sometimes a client just needs to talk and they need to vent, and venting alone is a release. And so if we can allow the client to have a release and trust that they're getting exactly what they need in that release, we can just relax into it as the coach and not feel like we have to do everything to try and mold the space, but just hold the space. And holding the space is the medicine. Holding the space is the medicine. And this can be applied for coaching, or just talking to the people that you love in your life. Sit back, hold your tongue, and listen. Listen. Okay. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Short, sweet, to the point, impactful, potent, juicy. Practice this, okay? Practice this and let me know what you think. And if you're ready to take your coaching to another level, QCA is where it's at for that. Definitely put your application in or just message me on Instagram, DM me QCA, and we can have a chat. All right. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Sending you so much love. Woo! We did some work today. Thank you so much for listening. You know I love my BAM fam. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who you know would love it too, because we live for the ripple effect over here. And how can you best support the show? Make sure you're subscribed, hit the 5 stars, and leave a review on iTunes, and let me know how the podcast has impacted you. I love being part of your real-time journey, so screenshot the episode and tag me and my guests on Instagram at Manifest with Ash. Now say it with me. I am my own power source. I am the master of my own energy, and I deserve everything that I desire. We don't just talk about it over here, we be about it. Now go get 'em.